where a survey by Elimu Bora Working Group has revealed that parents in public primary and junior secondary schools continue to be burdened by illegal levies charged by learning institutions. The unlawful levies include charges on admission, desks, lockers, books, reams of printing papers, remedial lessons, among others. 85.7% sent if they cannot pay, leading to cases of school dropouts.
They're up for the second term starting Monday. A major concern still hangs over parents in public primary and junior secondary schools: illegal levies. According to a survey by the Elimu Bora Working Group, although primary and junior secondary school education should be free, over 90% of schools charge admission fees.
MM charges between 15,000 Kenya shillings and 20,000 for admission. Victoria Primary in Kisumu requires 13,000 to 15,000 for admission, along with other additional 5,000 for a locker. In Mombasa, St. Mary's Primary School charges shillings 10,000 for admission and 4,500 for a locker. At Kibau Primary and Junior Secondary School in Machakos, parents must pay shillings 1,000 for admission and 4,000 for desks.
Additionally, between 45 and 55% of schools surveyed still charge for textbooks. While some schools require cash payments, others provide parents with shopping lists. The survey also revealed that 58% of junior secondary schools and 40% of primary schools impose, which are often labeled as classroom, laboratory or toilet construction fees. Fees for remedial lessons are also widespread despite such classes being banned. About 89% of schools compel learners to take extra tuition at a cost, especially in upper primary and junior secondary schools.
They're charging remedial fee on a termly basis at a primary school level, charging those little ones, come and pay so that we teach you.
Mwalimu ana muda na mwanafunzi. Anapochukua muda zaidi, anaitisha fedha zaidi. Kwa hivyo naona hiyo si haki.
Most schools are said not to provide receipts for these payments, making it difficult for parents to keep records or question the legal charges.
And the study has revealed that parents are paying close to 40,000 per year per child. When you ask basic education, the government or the parent?
Elimu Bora Working Group is now urging parents not to make such payments, even as it challenges the government to crack the
Kuja kupata, ukienda nyumbani unapata watoto wako nyumbani na hakuna mtu anashughulika, na bila kulipa hii pesa hawezi kubaliwa pale.
Why are we seeing children going home without fares? Why are we seeing children walking in illegal levies?
Kama utalipwa lazima kuwe na circular kutoka kwa cabinet secretary. Na hapo unakuta shule zinaitisha pesa bila hiyo approval.
The survey was conducted between March and April 2025 and sampled 370 public schools at the primary and junior secondary school levels. At least one school in all the 47 counties was sampled, with parents and guardians providing insights into their experiences.
To matters health now, where the Ministry of Health now says 153 cases of cholera have so far been reported in the counties of Migori, Kisumu and Nairobi. Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni says that 53 in Migori, 56 cases in Kisumu, while 44 cases have been reported in Nairobi. Muthoni disease in the neighboring devolved units. Church service in Gishogo, that is in Kirinyaga, the PS reiterated the need for the public to observe personal hygiene, such as hand washing, boiling drinking water, clearing bushes, and using pit latrines. She said open defecation should be avoided at all costs, particularly now that due to the ongoing rains.
Is in the north, Wajir, Marsabit, and Mandera counties. Therefore, surveillance activities which are strengthening the communities to ensure there is early detection of any form of disease. laboratory investigations enhanced so that we test all our diseases in this country and any outbreak in the country. We are scaling up our risk communication.
Indeed, calls for employers in the of trade unions Kotu prayer day held Cathedral, that is along Jogoo Road, Nairobi. Speakers at the ceremony, who included the church provost, Canon Paul Kariuki, also called out a section of Kenyans for laxity and engaging in unhealthy political conversations at the expense of social and economic nation.
Ahead of Labor Day celebrations set for May 1st, hundreds of Central Organization of Trade Unions leaders and worshippers congregated at St. Stephen's ACK Cathedral along Jogoo Road for Thanksgiving Prayer Day. Heading with Kotu Kenya's 60th anniversary, the need for employees to enjoy a conducive working environment. According to the church's provost, Reverend Canon Paul Kariuki, inconsiderate and unjust employees remain a stumbling block to a productive labor.
Workers fair nyumbani, kanisani, kwenye viwanda vyetu. Siku hii na mwaka huu, wakati tunafikiria juu ya product as the key to our workers are variable.
The clergyman further pleaded for a change in attitude towards work and Kenyans to embrace hard work for the growth and development of the nation. Echoing the sentiments, Kotu Secretary General Francis Atwoli asked the government to ratify the International Labour Organization's Convention 109 on workers' rights.
This is a wonderful country. Na provost amesema watu wengi kwa nchi hii. That is true. Ni kuamuka tu usubuhi kusema uchumi mbaya, sijui nini, huyu anadu hajajua ground iko mbaya sana, ground iko mbaya. Ni mbaya.
He put on notice employers who manipulate workers, including sexually. Meanwhile, Labour Principal Secretary Shadrach Madime affirmed the government's commitment to protect workers and abroad.
We continue to work tirelessly to promote fair labor practices, ensure safe working environments, and to create opportunities for many. We recognize that when our workers thrive, our nation also thrives.
To matters security now. Tension is high. People were shot dead at Loberer along Marigat, Chamulingot Road by bandits earlier this week. The residents, Baringo security teams and members of parliament from the region. Police were faulted for erecting roadblocks, which they allegedly used for collecting bribes as opposed to dealing with bandits. The residents also accused area police of demanding exorbitant fees from private vehicle owners who through their disturbed area.
In Baringo County that has seen 2 people at Loberer along Marigat Chemolingot Road this week has caused panic and fear among the area. The 2 victims of water points to renewed cases of banditry attacks were killed on their way to They were ambushed in an attack that saw the lorry driver die on the spot, while another trader who was on a different on his way to the hospital. To the streets in their numbers to voice their concerns following their protest. A meeting that saw security officers, the leaders from the region, and elders was held to address insecurity in the disturbed region. During the meeting, the residents faulted police, accusing them of laxity.
Hatukuja kwa mambo ya development, only security. We need security. Why always Baringo? Mimi tulipikwa luru hapo tu. Tulisimamishwa mkonya nini mchanga. Leta barua. Ya nini? Leta barua ya kuonyesha mnakanyanga hii barabara. Kidogo saa hiyo sasa umbe hawa jamaa wakapa. Wewe askari hivyo.
Entire security team wakafanya uchunguzi, mtu mmoja akashikwa, akapelekwa kotini. Kutoka kotini mpaka saizi hatujajua ilienda namna gani.
Police have gotten sufficient leads and they will not rest until the killers are brought to book.
Tunatafuta huyu mkora ambaye anaharibu jina ya jamii yenu, hata jamii yetu. Kwa njia fulani kuweza kutafuta wakora. Jamii zingine zimeweza tusaidia. Kwa hivyo ndio unaona sasa sisi tumeangazia mkora.
Mogotio Member of Parliament Ruben Kiborek, his Eldama Ravine counterpart Musa Sirma, and Baringo North Member of Parliament Joseph Makilap called for restraint to avoid aggravating the situation further, which could spark intercommunity conflicts within the Kerio Valley.
A proper disarmament of those who hold the illegal firearms. Criminals must be pursued to their hideouts, to their caves, to their homes.
Jamii ya Pokot si wote ni bandits. Samia Tugen si wote ni bandit. Jamii ya Aror si wote ni bandit. Ni wakora 2-3 ambaye ni bandit. Tusiende tukalamsam community mzima na tuweze kukua tunaona community mzima kama ni wakora, hapana.
Kitu moja ni hata Mheshimiwa Kiboreka amesema tusiangalie jamii kama ni criminals.
Now, the power of love and community spirit was on full display on Sunday as 9 couples walked down the aisle during a mass wedding at Dongeno AI PCA Church in Nyanda. Bishop David Kiboi blessed the couples' unions, urging them to cultivate a culture of forgiveness and trust as a key ingredient to a success of gender-based violence among couples. Let's get the details of that story.
Sunday at Dongeno AIPCA Church, atmosphere filled the air as 9 couples tied the knot in a mass wedding ceremony at Lesha Upondo Ward in Daragwa constituency in celebration of love. Songs of praise reverberated in the church, and the occasion's tears of joy as the couples walked down the aisle. Mass wedding, Nyandarua North AIPCA Archbishop presiding over the wedding, Nyandarua North AIPCA Bishop David Kiboi challenged the newlywed to build their families on the foundations of love, trust and forgiveness.
Nidhamu nzuri kwa waume wao ili doa iishi maisha wawe na maisha mazuri ya doa. Kwa hivyo tungeomba kupitia hafla hii ya siku ya leo, tunaomba nyumba zetu Mungu akaweze kusikamilisha na aweze kusimama nazo.
Leo kwa sababu ya doa hii takatifu kati yangu na mke wangu Mase Wajiro. Tumetamani sana siku hii na Mungu ni mwema ameweza kuifikisha.
Roho ikiwa imekubali ni sawa. Hali ya maisha hata ikiwa gumu, wewe kaa vyenye maisha yako inakaa, usije ukaogopa ati maisha imekuwa. Hakuna wakati maisha itakuwa rahisi. Juu maisha inakuaga hivyo tu. Siku yenye uko hivyo, hiyo ndio maisha yako.
Bishop Kiboi taking the opportunity to passionately address the various challenges facing modern marriages stemming from lack of communication and unresolved conflicts, which has resulted in increased gender-based violence.
Wazee au wamama hawajakuwa na huyo moyo wa kusema huyu ni bibi yangu na huyu ni bari. Leo itakuwa ya muhimu sana kuonyesha wale wengine wote familia inatakiwa iwe pamoja.
And as the curtains closed on the ceremony be etched in their hearts and minds, it marks a start of a new joy for the 9 couples who are united before God and man.
All the best to the couples. Now, cancer is a word that strikes fear in the hearts of millions. For countless families, it's not just the illness that hurts, but the overwhelming cost of fighting it. The treatment journey is often long, expensive, and out of reach for many. But now, a quiet revolution is taking place. In Kenya, doctors and patients are beginning to witness a shift, not just in how cancer is treated, but in how it's experienced. At the heart of this change is a new approach, not only survival, but the life beyond diagnosis. Our fixes inside hope is being restored.
Healthcare Global Cancer Center in Nairobi became one Central Africa to introduce a PET-CT scanner, a powerful against cancer.
Can this normal life, quality of life, and move on with their daily activities as if they did not have any cancer in the first place?
It doesn't cure, but it sees clearly and early.
We can be able now to treat and retreat these patients with very, very minimal side effects. And that is what we want. It's about...
Difference is life-changing.
We can be able now to identify with precision where the tumor has reoccurred, and we can be able to tackle specifically within a small volume of margins where now we can be able to save the normal tissues.
Seraphine Moipei knows what it means to find the unknown. Her cancer journey was filled with confusion and uncertainty until clarity came.
I have seen it through, and it has made me become the person I am today because of the right hands, the right treatment, and the right upon me when I was very unwell, and having gone through this has gotten me to even further than I imagined I would ever have gone.
Across Kenya, nearly 50,000 people are diagnosed with cancer each year.
It is very important that the first-time treatment has to be accurate, and that decide the outcome of the treatment. So if the first-time treatment itself is not correct, then there are chances of reoccurrence or relapse and so many other issues.
Cancer has made a lot of progress in treatment. From both diagnoses, it can be picked earlier now with better diagnostic tests, and there are very good treatment options.
From the Social Health Authority, many patients can now afford the scans that once seemed out of reach.
If I'm talking of PET-CT, which we are discussing today, we charge 60,000. Government pays, SHA pays 54,000. I have to shell out 6,000. Tell me, is it a rich or poor?
And it's not just patients in Nairobi who are benefiting. Oncologists in other parts of the country are receiving training.
We have trained so far almost around 15 oncologists, which I have already sent to Mumbai at CG India, where we have got a training center. Successfully came back, and right now they are the programs.
What's happening isn't just it's about dignity. A cancer diagnosis doesn't rob someone of their future. And for people like Seraphine, it's about finally being seen and treated the right way.
The silent struggles that cancer patients are going through right now is a lack to know what they are going through it, but they don't know what they are going through. The lack to know that this is what is happening.
For parents of children battling cancer, hope has often meant a long journey, sometimes across borders. But now a new pediatric cancer ward offering specialized care for young patients has been opened at Tempisha Hospital in Nairobi.
We are hoping that this will help all the needy children who are suffering from cancer, others.
The financial and economic costs are different.
This word could mean the difference between delay and action, between despair and healing.
For that matters health, where Benson Amadi walked to the hospital after a robbery attack to get stitches for an injury he had suffered during the violent attack. Little did he know that the unfortunate incident was a blessing in disguise. Doctors have a 3-centimeter tumor hidden in the most delicate region of his brain. The tumor was life-threatening and required emergency surgery, as he was at risk of losing his eyesight or suffering a stroke. Here is the incredible story of Benson Amadi's close shave with death, as told by our reporter, that is Wycliffe Okech.
Benson Amadi, a civil servant, was accosted by robbers on his way home from work.
Jamaa walinizingira, walikuwa na motorbike. Sasa mtu amekupita na motorbike hivi ujui kitu inafanyika, unaona shashu. Thing I knew, nimeloa damu kabisa.
It was around 9 p.m. and then somebody who knew him rushed to my house and told me my husband had been attacked. And he's bleeding. Rushed to the scene, rushed him to Avenue.
Days after he received his wound, he would begin to experience episodes of headache and migraines that prompted him to return to the hospital. It is during this checkup that he received life-changing news.
We picked up the brain tumor, and this was a pituitary adenoma. So the pituitary gland is a master gland. Like the brain controls the body, pituitary gland controls rest of the hormonal glands in the body. So this gland is situated right at the center of the brain, at the base of the brain.
Mwanzo nilichukua kama mzaa. Unajua something zile wasikia tunafanyikia watu. Yani you've never pictured yourself kwa situation kama hiyo.
We were very shocked and we were very much, we were worried about it.
The tumor had to be removed immediately, with doctors warning it could cost him his eyesight or suffer a stroke. Dr. Tanay Shalapurkar, a consultant neurosurgeon at a private health facility in Kisumu, recommended a transnasal endoscopic procedure as opposed to the traditional open-head surgery.
The tumors were brain, they need to be removed in small bits. So every time you are going in, when we are doing an open surgery, there is always an injury to these two important structures whenever you are trying to remove the tumor bit by bit. So, for any neurosurgeon, the choice is always simple. The only problem is whether the equipment is available or not.
This required slightly over 700,000 shillings. Fortunately for Benson, 3/4 of the cost was covered by the Social Health Authority, SHA.
The approval took just a few hours.
Wafanya registration wafanye, it helps. Maana sasa kama siko na register, sijunge 600k anataka haraka, sio kitu rahisi.
At the time Benson was sharing his story with us, he was recuperating. It had been 2 weeks since he had had the surgery. 9 hours and a team of 3 doctors. The doctors say they will continue to monitor his progress for the next 2 years.
Looking at his post-surgery scan, we have definitely averted. The blindness is definitely averted, and even the risk to life is definitely averted.
This is a patient who didn't have to get this done in neurosurgery, and we are hoping to do the same for all our.
The robbery attack with a lifelong scar on his head, but he considers the ordeal a blessing in disguise. Benson's close shave with death serves as a reminder to always seek medical assistance when symptoms persist. Had he ignored the persistent headaches after the stitches, doctors may have never discovered the life-threatening tumor, and his story happy ending. For Channel 1 from Kisumu County, I am Wycliffe Okech.
Wow, I don't know what to say. Should he be happy that he was attacked? But maybe, yes, because at least he's safe. would have gone through a lot more, pain or suffering, or even lost his life if that did not happen to him. But anyway, that is for you to judge. Let's go to sports, where Kenya's Sebastian Sawe and Ethiopia's Tigist Assefa are the 2025 London Marathon champions. Sawe saw off a strong field of athletes to win the men's race in 2 hours, 2 minutes and 27 seconds, his second marathon victory after winning the Valencia Marathon last December. The 30-year-old Kenyan defeated a pre-race favourite Jacob Kiplimo of Uganda, who finished second. Alexander Mitiso Munyao settled for the bronze medal position. 4-time winner Eliud Kipchoge finished a distance. Lynn Chepkosgei finished second in the women's race, behind Ethiopia's Tigist Assefa, who won with a new women's only world record of 2 hours, 50 seconds. Olympic champion Sifan Hassan of Netherlands finished third, while Kenya's Vivian Cheriot settled for 5th position.
And we see that Sifan Hassan is finishing strongly here. And Sifan Hassan, the Olympic champion.
Order for Sebastian and, of course, there. Series finalist Peter Washuru is among 4 players who qualified for the semi-finals of the East and Northern Africa Continental Tour Darts Championship after winning their respective quarter held on Sunday in Nairobi.
wake alipombandua Nathan Jeru robo finalini kwa alama 6 ya nusu finali. Mchezaji
But all the same, we want to thank you so much for your time and starting your day with us. My name is Maria Yambo, and of course we have a lot lined up for you in as far as the news is concerned during the day, so be sure to tune in just to update yourself with what is happening in the country and across the globe. Of course, my will be up next, taking you through Eye on Politics, talking all matters politics that happened over the week and of course over the weekend. My name is Maria Yambo.